Okay, we're good. Live? We're good. And live? We're live. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, a free open house and the market topped. Do you really need to hear more? Yes, you do. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So many great things to talk about here today, including our free open house next weekend, a very spicy topic, the market topping out. And we're going to explain exactly what I mean before, people start, foaming at the mouth here and, getting a little facial tick over here. Just hear me out. I'm going to explain it all, but by watching this video, you must know that you are already agreeing to hold me, Mark Melnick, and T3 Live harmless and not responsible for anything shown or said or seen on this video or portrayed in any way. If you do not agree to that, exit this video, and by continuing to watch, you are automatically agreeing to those terms. So thank you very much for agreeing to that. So it's kind of interesting here, It first started with the dead bottom call of the market, and I think this one's going to look a little different. We call the dead bottom of the market right here, and I'm bringing you back just to explain what's happening, and then I'm going to, of course, explain what I feel is happening now. So on Sunday, June 2nd, we said you could buy the market for a bottom on Monday's close. Now, the people who foamed at the mouth and already exited this video, they are going to point out that the market is probably gapping up tomorrow. At least at the moment, anything can change because as I speak right now, the futures are higher. So I do want to point that out that I am not delusional that the Dow minis are up 18 points as we speak and the Nasdaq minis up 14 as we speak right now. So again, yes, I see the market gapping up. I am not, blind or delusional to that fact. And I want to explain how this market tops out, what it could look like, and where the conviction zones could be, because I think those are very important. Now, looking at the cues, you would probably say that the algorithmic resistance of the cues is where we can potentially top out. And definitely stay tuned because we will be sharing those levels with you as well. But I really want to talk more about the S&P. And that's going to be SPX over here. So we drew an algorithmic line here, and again, you might be those naysayers who are like, oh, what are these lines doing? But in the Newsbeat live room, we were off by like 50 cents from the dead high on Thursday using this line. We called the dead high of the S&P 500 the day before. It actually topped out here. And then after that, you put in this big, ugly, sort of inverted hammer on massively elevated volume. On massively elevated volume. Now, yes, even though I do have the earliest publication of a bottom call anywhere on Wall Street in terms of video links public on the internet at the moment, um, I'm going to call for a top here. And I know that's sort of brave, and I know that's sort of a brave thing to do. So I really want to take you through it and actually show you what it could look like. So just watch it. And again, please do not foam at the mouth. Do not foam at the mouth. We're going to show you exactly what can happen here. So the market is at the moment gapping up. It may or may not stay that way. I don't know. But really the highest I could see the market is pretty much going within this range, and the box would probably be no bigger than that, which basically translates into English that pretty much by next week, maximum, we're topping out. So whether the bars want to go, up first here, maybe you bang against the resistance, or another very likely scenario, we just head straight down. Now, this is a very interesting thing because I had the pleasure of speaking to, what, 53 of you. I want to say that I got to every single person in terms of giving a phone call. And if your phone did accept voicemail for whatever reason, I think there was one whose mailbox was full. But if your phone did accept voicemail, I even left you a voicemail. So Everybody on the list I reached out to. And if you're wondering what that is, just simply I talk to Newsbeat Live members. I do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phone calls a month. We don't nickel and dime you and charge you for those. We just try to get everybody on the level of profitability. Back to the S&P, I will tell you right now, this does look like a top out, and it's based off my trend lines. And I'm going to show you something else that's really cute. And I'm going to also talk about potential ways to play it and what would be the more of a logical place to potentially look to short the market. And again, I'm not a perma bull when I called the bottom here, and I'm not a perma bear calling the top here. I think if anybody really deserves a shot to call the top of the market after the bottom call we had, I believe we deserve that fair chance to at least put our necks on the line for you guys once again. And I hope you guys appreciate that because honestly, at this point, you could just sit back and I could just watch this thing go up and say, yeah, I have a video right over here by the dead bottom. You could do that, but again, you have to always bring future value. This is an ascending resistance line. In English, in order to remain above this line, the S&P 500 would have to have massive amounts of volume. And any bearish volume at this point is actually, any low volume at this point will be interpreted bearishly. And usually that's not the case. Usually down bars have larger red candlesticks than, for example, up bars. This bottom call, this top call in the S&P has nothing really to do with bearishness. And I think we should be very clear of that. It's because it was too bullish for its own good. And maybe we had much higher. I'm not even saying like, that's it, guys. We're not going higher from here. I'm not even insinuating that. But what I'm telling you is whether it happens tomorrow or not. And again, as I speak right now, I could clearly see the futures up. I'll just here. Not sure why they're trying to advertise an IBM data privacy thing for me. I have no idea why, but here's, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P futures right here, and you can see they're just clearly up as I'm doing this video in real time. So yes, the market is, if open at this exact second, would gap up tomorrow. So, with that being said, I do want to point out something that's actually really cute that you guys are going to appreciate. And then I'll talk probably about how I'm going to approach the market at this point. And what I want to do now is I want to show you Bollinger Bands. Now, I don't generally use Bollinger Bands. I don't generally use them, but in the past, when we were banging against them, we tended to fall back in. You can see right over here. We're talking about this upper blue line right here. Again, don't go crazy about it, just this upper blue line. And if you actually look at it, every time we banged against it, we pulled down. Every time we banged against it, we pulled down. Banged against it, pulled down. Hit the bottom of it, coincidentally, right where we were calling the bottom of the market, we bounce. Now you're getting awfully close on the daily to hitting this level. Let me show it to you on the weekly. You could just even see it clearly on the weekly here. When you hit this level, you tend to fall back down. So again, I will not say that there isn't a chance that we try to come up just a little bit higher and hit this level. But I think the top is going to be imminent, whether it happens this week or next. And I also want to point out, and very admittedly so, and you know, taking credit, as deserved, and not taking credit where not deserved. Like I want to point something out here on this call made on Sunday to Monday. So even though it ended up being one of my better months, historically speaking, thanks to that dead bottom call we made. I want to point out that if I held all my positions, I'd be up over $2.1 million if I held them up until today. But I didn't. I mean, just because I called the bottom doesn't mean I held this entire way up. And if you actually go back and watch the video, this is now me putting myself on the spot. It's just, I want to be perfectly open with the type of information and value you're getting as well as the value that you're not getting. A lot of traders like to give you step two. A lot of traders like to give you step two of things. And that's, we're going to have a huge pullback in the future. And if you say that, you'll never be wrong, whether we rally tomorrow or pull back. And you can make open comments like that, open comments like that are the stage two of a prediction. I try to give always, and I will always give stage one prediction calls, and I'll never give a stage two prediction call unless it includes a stage one prediction call. And a stage one prediction call is predictive analysis calling the bottom of the market, not confirmation analysis after the market move already happened. So I'm giving you one piece of the puzzle. That one piece of the puzzle, I don't know how much money was made in the Newsbeat live room, probably tens of millions on a call like that. And some people are still holding from the bottom of there, and they just absolutely are crazy and love it. And I'll be the first to admit that I couldn't get past like this bar over here. Uh, I saw the Qs explode 8 points. I'm like, peace, see ya. Who cares? I didn't hold for what is that? Almost a 20-point move. So I'll be the first to admit that right now what I'm trying to do is give you that first piece of the puzzle. And yes, that could be phenomenally valuable. Now remember, we are in a very geopolitically moving environment. Any positive news from the US-China trade war will bode most likely positively for the markets, and anything regarding, these tariffs extending could potentially be boded negatively for the markets. So how will I play this? All right, Mark, you told me you think it's happening. So first of all, step one, I'm giving you almost a time frame here. Not almost, I'm giving you a very precise time frame. I mean, this line ends here, like right over here, I'll show you. This right here, that's July 1st. That's July 1st right there. So, just so there's no confusion here, that is the end of the little yellow circle I drew. So it's not just calling for a down move sometimes stupidly, unconsciously, and blindly in the futures. Again, I would rather be wrong on a trade like this. I would rather be wrong with a prediction like this, which I do not make often, and I bet damn high on it. I would rather be wrong on a prediction like this than come to you and say, well, we might go up and then we're just going to go down and just give you a blanket statement like that. And again, that doesn't really truly bring value. So, how am I going to play this? How would you play something like this? It's a bit of a different situation. It's a bit of a different situation than we were in before. This is a situation where it's not like to me, I wouldn't use the word overbought. I would just say hitting an important algorithmic trend line, which is going to turn the robots and the algorithms out there into shorting mode. And that's, I mean, you want to talk scientifically, what am I talking about? Is it an opinion? No, by understanding the algorithmic trendline analysis, which we created here in the Newsbeat live room, I know that more robots are going to want to sell than buy. And yes, it could be a headline change. Like if anything, if there's a picture of, whatever, and saying, oh, the U.S.-China trade war, we came to an agreement, we came to a fair deal, we're dropping all tariffs, that. Maybe the market rallies, and maybe that puts a new ingredient within the soup that changes things. I would tell you that even with that scenario happening, if the market were to shoot up this coming week on our open house based on that, I would still use that as a bearish opportunity. So there's a lot of ways to go about it. Again, maybe put spreads. And this is the S&P 500. I mean, most likely banks will move lower, transports will move out lower. I mean, you could start looking for names that are inclusive of the S&P 500, individual names as well. The Nasdaq will likely move lower too if the S&P 500 is moving lower, as it almost always does. And there's probably an approximate infinite amount of way to play short here. I like the thought of put spreads. I like the thought of put spreads very much. I will also give you levels to watch on the S&P 500 here. Um, you're going to want if you start seeing the S&P 500 give you confirmation bias, like breaking Friday's low of 2946.87, like breaking Friday's low right here. If you start seeing things like that, there's a real, and it's funny how the futures are dropping just coincidentally as we do this video. Makes you wonder. I mean, you could literally, it's it's almost magical to watch, but yeah, just awkwardly and coincidentally, Here's the SM. Here's right here. You could just see a little mini chart of the S&P right here, and you could see right at the tip top is where we started our video, and it literally plunged, gave up half its profits ever since we started this video. It makes you wonder what the robots are really listening to on Wall Street, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you think that's me moving the entire markets, either way, all I am doing is interpreting a robot at the end of the day. I am not making the rules, but I am understanding how they're played at certain moments in time. Not every moment, but at least in certain moments of time where I'm brave enough to come out now and call the top of the market. And that's what I'm doing. And I am giving myself a minute, extremely measured amount of wiggle room. I'm saying July 1st, which is next week. July 1st is officially the Monday, a week from tomorrow, a week from this Monday. And whether you're playing put spreads or whatnot, you'll have to be in the Newsbeat live room to see how we potentially play this. And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and just tell members we've been so consistent. We've been batting so well. We did the evolutionary gathering where we were looking at the efficacy, the high percent. I mean, the Mark 5 strategy that we created is working 88%. There are people who are profitable. I spoke to traders who are brand new making money, traders who have their account balances devastated and they're trying to get back again and they're gaining confidence again. All confidence is in the market is making money. I also explained the uselessness of having dozens of names, 10 names, 8 names vomited in your face every morning and telling you to decipher them. We also do that by giving you, a few amount of names. And again, if you want to see exactly how we do this, there's a link within the description of this video. It's going to tell you exactly what to do it, how to join up. There's a link for the free open house next week. I would definitely try to get in at like 9 o'clock. I would definitely try to get in at like 9 o'clock because that's when we're going to start, sharing everything and, sharing with you our predictions, etc. So, again, calling the top of the market, brought to you by the same robots that we're buying over here when we predicted. Brought to you by the same exact robots that we're buying right here, are going to be the same exact robots that will bring you down here. They'll be the same exact robots. The same ones that brought you up to where you are will be the same ones who bring you down to there. So I just thought I would share that with you. I think it's a very interesting concept. I think the way we give analysis is the proper way to do it. I feel we should always give stage one analysis. And again, that is predictive analysis, which basically paints a very timed, obvious picture ahead of time where there's should be zero confusion. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is my humble honor to host you guys tomorrow. I look forward to serving you. I think you'll realize fast why the T3's Newsbeat live room is T3's number one largest and fastest growing trading room within our firm. I think you'll find a lot of value with what we have to offer, and I think you'll find that what we have to offer is second to none within this industry. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money. I will definitely see you tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.